Most apricot varieties are pruned using the same basic principles. An apricot tree is one of the most difficult of all fruit trees to train. It has a mind of its own and is difficult to get into a uniform shape. Apricot trees can be grown in a variety of ways. A fruiting wall, also known as an espalier trellis, works really well, and so does the open vase or semi-open vase shape, while the tatura trellis also works reasonably well for apricots. First, remove all damaged or dead wood. The next step is to identify the structural limbs in the tree and remove any shoot that is more than 1/3 of the thickness of that limb, as that shoot will compete with the limb for nutrients in years to come. Apricots bear on 2-year-old spurs. One has to develop as much 2-year-old spurred up wood as possible. This is accomplished by heading into 1-year-old wood, leaving a shoot that is no longer than 20 centimeters. A 1-year-old shoot that has been headed tends to get spur development, which will fruit the following year. All the 1-year-old wood that is thinner than a knitting needle on that limb will be headed to 20 centimeters in length. A small amount of spur thinning can be done to remove spurs if necessary. It's very important for the pruners to identify the structural limbs and the bearing units. They can be thought about as the bone and the meat of the tree. The structural limbs can be seen as the bones of the tree, as they are there permanently. The meat is the bearing unit. It's there for only a short time. We keep on rejuvenating it, so you've got young, soft meat, but the bone is permanent. So with apricots, it's very important to identify what is bone and what is meat. The meat you remove and you cut back into the 1-year-old wood to stimulate spurring. This is the only fruit kind on which you would cut back into 1-year-old wood. Apricots are usually pruned while they are in flower. There are 2 reasons for this. Firstly, vigorous growth is not stimulated in the tree, and secondly, there is less chance of bacterial infection as the sap flow is outwards and sap will not draw the bacterial disease into the tree. Well, that's it for apricot pruning. Please note that our pruning programs give the general theory related to the pruning activity. Adapt the information to your own situation and chat to a consultant who can advise you in your orchard if you have further queries.